Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this Wednesday. We've got Derek with us, TatPeddler. Hello,
Hello.
Derek.
Hiya, how's it going?
I think I did that the wrong way around, actually. I think I was meant to press the countdown first, then live. Never mind. I'll get my head around it one of these days. So,
How are you?
how have you been then, Derek?
Yeah, not too bad. Just been busy with a lot of DIY type stuff on my barn
Yeah.
and a little bit of reselling here and there.
So,
So
have you had many sales today?
today it's been a shocking day. I accepted an offer that came in overnight for like, I think it was like £6 or something,
Yeah.
like a really low tail item. And then just before I came live just now, I accepted I think it's about £110 offer
Um,
um, on a boombox. So fingers crossed they pay. But
yeah.
that's been the only sales I've had all day.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully they'll pay. I
yeah,
had one Calf Kidston bag went for 17.99 on GSP. It said AU on the end, so I'm guessing that's Australia or
yes,
not sure.
that would be Australia, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I also had a GSP sale the other day, and it said OM on the end, which I thought maybe meant like Oman, perhaps. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure on that one now.
No, I couldn't work it out. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't. That's like my little game I play when I get a
yeah,
GSP sale. Just try
yeah.
and work out where it's going.
I think mine usually goes to sort of the same few countries, so I can usually work it out. I think
Yeah,
there is a way of actually finding out as well. I can't remember how it is, but I think you have to um, look at something on eBay and it tells you basically the buyer's basically postcode and
yeah,
country. But I can't remember how you do it now. There is a certain way to do it.
yeah. I quite like my guessing game.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Derek, you said, I'm sure I've heard you say before, you started reselling like when you were at uni, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I've sort of been reselling. Yeah, well, since I was at school, I suppose, because how I sort of started was um, we my brother got a car. He got his first car, and I was still at school at this point. He's a few years older than me, and he got his first car, and then we started going to boot sales together just to buy stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think we started to sell stuff. So what we ended up doing was going to, I think it was a Wednesday car boot sale. It was on in the evening, and we used to buy all sorts of stuff like TVs and all sorts of stuff, fill his car with it. And then on the Sunday, we used to sell it. And that's sort of the very early days of reselling, I suppose, then.
Yeah.
Um, and then later on, we used to sell computer software at the car boots. We did that for quite a few years. Then I eventually got my own car, and we sort of split up then and did our own sort of thing. And yeah, and then I went to uni, and I was still doing it then. I mean, when I drove, because I went to uni in Dundee, and I
Yeah.
lived in Wolverhampton. So it was about 350 miles, something like that, difference.
Yeah.
But the first time I came to Dundee, I came up with a load of tat in the back of the car. Nothing much has changed. Because every time I go back to Wolverhampton to visit Richard and my parents, I always come back with a car full of a car full of so yeah, and when I got my sort of I graduated from uni and got my job, and then I sort of stopped doing reselling a bit. There was a bit of I've always sort of done it, but really sort of part time. I might have nipped in a charity shop, seen something I know definitely sell, stick it on
Yeah.
eBay. I did that for quite a few years, and then I started to get back into it. And yeah, Richard showed me Nick's videos and Zahir's videos, I think, at some point. And Richard was thinking about going full time himself, and I then started selling more and more and more, and it sort of
Yeah.
just basically took off from there. Eventually, I went full time myself. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been I've been on it since sort of 1996, I suppose,
Yeah.
taking into account those really early dates.
Yeah.
But I guess they were reselling. Sorry, what was that?
What did you do for work?
I program computer games.
Okay.
So yeah, I worked at Rockstar, which makes Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
So I was there until 2016, and then I left there to get a different job because basically I was at Rockstar for quite a long time. I think it was about 16 years, and there was basically no chance of any progression or anything. So
Yeah.
I changed jobs to basically get a higher position, and did that for a couple of years. But at that point, I'd started going to the auctions and stuff, and it got
Yeah.
to the point where I really one had to go. I couldn't do both. I was,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was selling way. I was working from home as well, and this was obviously before COVID and stuff. Working from
Yeah.
home, and I was like packing before I started work and in my lunch hour, and it was so difficult.
Yeah.
And it was starting to interfere with my work as well, because I was answering emails from eBay when I was basically at work, because I was at
Yeah.
home, and I felt bad doing that, and I had to sort of go either way. So
Yeah.
I ended up, quitting and just putting it all into the reselling, and that was 2018. So
Yeah.
been
Oh,
going for quite a while. It'll be 5 years in July, I think.
nice.
Yeah.
I love LA Noire. That's one of my favorite games. That's a Rockstar one.
Yeah, that's Rockstar one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that game. I'm just gonna have a quick jump in the chat if that's okay. So we've got Jenny in Limelight. Hello. Debs AA, thanks for joining. Hello, George. Lindsay and Alvin. Hello. I'm really echoey tonight. I don't know what that's about. Pat Walker, hiya. Chris Tyler, hiya. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for joining. Hi, Den. Sorry about the Zoom call. I was meant to do a Zoom call with Dan's on Monday, but I was asleep, basically. So sorry about that, Dan. I woke up to this message like, "Are you coming on the call?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." Hi, Chop Chop, busy work bang. Hello, Jeff. Hiya. We've also got Pete in. Hiya, Pete. Phil Higginson. Hello. Thanks for joining. Just coming down. Hi, Damien. Thanks so much for joining. And I do believe that's your brother, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The other Payne brother.
Funko, oh, wrong channel. Sorry about that, Phil. Den sales in the last 3 days are around 30 a day, whereas before they've been 60 plus. Wow, well done, Dens. I
30 days good anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't even known it like say 10 a day or something. I'm quite happy if I just get a couple at the moment.
I think I'm like 7 or 8 a day, something like that, roughly.
Yeah.
It goes up and down, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like nearly 300 items on my store, and I'm not sourcing too much at the moment, mainly because I'm going traveling and things like that as well. So I'm doing a lot of like sell similars and stuff. But yeah, I've found like last couple of weeks I've been lucky if I get like one sale a day, and then I've had the odd day where I've had like 4, and then back to like 0 or 1, and then 0, and then like 5.
There's certainly been a noticeable difference I've seen, but
Yeah.
I've not been sort of listing as much as I normally do anyway, because I've been working on my barn and stuff. So
Yeah.
I could put mine down to that. Honestly, it's hard to tell, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
What the reason is. But.
Secret Carper barn is coming along nicely, doing a cracking job.
Oh, thank you.
So where are you up to on the barn at the moment, Derek?
Yeah, so the videos, I guess the videos are maybe a month behind of where I'm sort of progressing, because obviously they take time to edit, and
Mm.
I'm not recording sort of everything. I mean, I do try to record quite a bit, but there's only so much people want to see me
Yeah,
doing various things. So I try to only record stuff that maybe I haven't done before.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, I've more or less finished all the drain work now. I think the videos, there's still a couple more drainage videos to come out. I'm
yeah,
pretty much finished them. I've also been building some walls up, um, and repairing walls that sort of crumbling away. So I've been doing that. I was actually doing that today as well.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so I'm about a month behind on the videos, but the my plan is the roof, the current tiles will be coming off at the start of June.
yeah,
That is my hope. Um, but yeah, it's all a bit flexible. So I've got quite a lot to do beforehand, but has to be done, like the building up of the wall. That
yeah,
needs to be done because I don't want to be disturbing the wall until it's sort of structurally safe,
yeah,
sort of thing. If I start
yeah,
messing about too much,
yeah,
I'll end up knocking it down, sort of thing. So
yeah,
there's things like that that I need to do before I take the tiles off and disturb it all, really.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and I've got to order thousands and thousands of pounds worth of wood, which I'm probably going to do it in stages,
yeah,
because otherwise it's just going to be sitting there getting
yeah,
dragged if I didn't
yeah,
film it. So yeah, so yeah, about June for the roof to come off, and then it'll probably be a couple of months before the new roof goes back on,
yeah,
and then I've got to concrete the floor, and then I've got to build internal walls and that sort of thing,
yeah.
and do gutters. There's so many different things.
It's
It's
just
all in my mind.
like,
I'm trying to juggle it.
isn't it? Yeah, you've kind of got to like separate it out. Like, what have you got to do like now and go
Yeah,
from there? Because I can
yeah.
imagine it get really overwhelming otherwise.
I keep on seeing stuff that I want to sort of fix, but then I'm thinking I don't really need to fix that before the roof goes on. I really need to concentrate on only things that need to be done before the roof.
Yeah,
Um, so I'm trying to just leave the other stuff. But it's like the wall I was rebuilding today. It's right at the top, right at
yeah,
the peak of the building, and the only way I can get to that is by a scaffold, which is
yeah,
basically going through the current roof. So once the new roof is on, there's nowhere to be able to get to it without
yeah,
laying on the new roof, which obviously don't really want to do. So
yeah,
things like that have to be done first. So it's just picking the right things.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but it's coming along, but it's quite hard going.
yeah. At least as well though now like the weather's changing, so you've got like longer days, drier days. Obviously, when you
Yeah,
started this, it was still like proper winter, wasn't it?
yeah. I think I did actually start in January. I always planned to start in April, but it the weather was pretty good.
Yeah,
The weather's been pretty good in Scotland, actually, pretty much all so far, really.
yeah,
I mean, I put all the new downpipe, the gutters in, well, not the gutters,
yeah,
the drainage in, and I've got existing gutters going into these drains, but I haven't actually really had a proper rainfall to sort of
yeah,
test it all out yet.
yeah, yeah.
um, and in between all of that, I've also done some work on my actual normal house as well.
Oh, right,
I
okay.
needed to do various bits and bobs,
Yeah,
and I thought, I've got the concrete out and all that sort of stuff, so I might as well finish off certain
yeah,
things. I've been doing that as well. Um, but yeah, it's obviously taken my focus away from the reselling a bit.
yeah.
But I'm
I
still,
hope like you do get everything like done because like I have to admit when I first saw that barn I thought, oh Derek. I just thought just knock it down, start again.
yeah. Well,
So
the barn, I've lived here for like I think it's 10 years now. It's like dead
Yeah.
on 10 years, and the barn's always been in my plan to do the barn.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really originally. It was going to be like a workshop for, because I've got some classic cars, and it was going to be like a workshop for my cars and things like that
Yeah.
originally. And then obviously I started the business, and now I thought, well, I could have a nice storage warehouse in there. And last couple of years I really wanted to get it done. Last year I wanted to do it, but there was other stuff going on, so I couldn't do that then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was quite determined that this year it's going to be, but it's been in my plan for a long time. It's all the stuff
Yeah.
that you see me doing. It's all stuff I've been thinking about for the last sort of 5 or 6 years. Oh, I've got
Yeah.
to do that. I've got to do this. I really need to do that. All these things are starting to come together. So it's quite exciting to get these things done now. And
Yeah.
because the barns are actually attached to the house, it's going to help the house in general anyway, because they look a bit of a tip at the moment. The roof collapsing next to the
Yeah.
house, it doesn't look that great. So
Yeah. What do you think your like biggest challenge has been with the barn so far?
so far, I don't know. Everything's been fairly okay. I mean, um, I don't know the bit. I've been repointing some of the brickwork. As I said, I can't get up there once the new roof is done, so I've got to repoint it and
Yeah.
rebuild some of the top. And I'm not very good at repointing, but I'm sort of persevering. I'm getting better, getting better. So yeah, I suppose the thing that worries me the most, I don't know whether I'm a bit naive thinking this or not, is not the roof or anything. It's the concrete floor. That's the bit
Right.
that worries me the most, because I'm going to get pumped in. You can get it sort of pumped in, and
Yeah.
I'll get some help, but I'll be doing it all ourselves. So is this professional guy with a concrete truck, he's going to come in, start pouring it in. We're going to be there, never done it before, running around with brooms and spades and stuff. And I just hope that we can get that done, because obviously he's going to want to fill up the barn with the concrete and
Yeah.
disappear.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all got to be sort of spread about
Yeah. I suppose
correctly.
you have to like move quite quick with that as well, won't you?
Yeah, I think so. And
Yeah.
I can't just think, oh, I'll just leave that tomorrow now.
Yeah.
And
Because you'll
you
just
know,
have a pound of concrete stuck
yeah,
there.
yeah. So I think that's the thing that worries me the most. But I'll be watching
Yeah.
lots of as it everything I do. I'll be watching lots of YouTube videos, and
Yeah.
I've watched loads of drainage videos, and repointing videos and all sorts of stuff. And but I've done quite a lot of this stuff before, because I renovated my house, and I've rebuilt stone walls and things like that. So it's not completely sort of
Yeah.
new, but um, that was probably about 8 years ago now when I did that.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
yeah, you soon forget a lot of the stuff, and
Yeah.
and when I was doing the stonework for the main house, sort of, let's say about 8 years ago, I probably got quite good at it. But I was doing some yesterday. I was doing the stonework again, and yeah, it takes a while. All the mortar was dripping down, and I was picking it back up, and so but yeah, I'll get back to it and
Yeah.
be okay.
Chris says, "What the hell is that head on Derek's light?"
Oh, yeah, that's I don't know if you saw. I think it was the first Hitchin meetup. Andrew Moneymental won a giraffe mask in some sort of pub quiz or something at the meetup, and he got really really drunk that night, and he did his drinking with Andrew wearing the giraffe mask, and I bought that for one of the meetups to take with me, and I forgot it. So it's just been left up there ever since. So yeah, that's what that is.
Richard says, "Click in feedback profile will say country they're registered in."
Yeah, that's true.
There you
Yeah.
go then. I'm just coming down the chat a little bit, guys. We've also got Gilly in. Hello. Carly at number 53. Hello. I'm really echoey. I don't know what the problem is. I moved my phone because I kind of thought maybe it's because my phone was next to my MacBook. But I don't know why I'm really echoey.
Hopefully it's not me. I can try moving.
No, I think it's probably me because my MacBook is like so old. Like I don't even know how it's still running. To be honest, I haven't been able to update it in years because it's that like old.
Right.
Hi, Rich. I used to be up packing at 2 a.m. when I had to get up for work at 7 a.m. until I went full time in 2017. Wow.
It is hard when you get to that bit where you really, like, say you've got to choose one or the other, or maybe not increase the on selling anymore. It's really hard. It gets to that point where you're doing too much, really.
Yeah.
You've got you've got a job as well to do.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Ali Evans, hello. I find sometimes, because obviously like I'm still working, I go on like a 3-day dispatch time. But it's like tomorrow I'm working 8 till 8. So I know like I'm not going to want to do packing before or after work.
No.
And the next day I'm on 11 till 9. So really it only kind of leaves like Saturday really, because I'm not in until 1:15. But it's kind of balancing getting it packed and going to the shop is like the hardest bit for me, like around my working times.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part for me, really.
Yeah, I just don't like packing at all. I always put it off until if I sell some things sort of big, like a CRT TV, the big cube TVs, that they're always the ones that get packaged right, or like the morning it has to be sent, whereas all the little ones usually go sort of next day or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just don't like packing, really. It's the worst part.
No, I think George actually put out a post on his Instagram earlier saying like, "Are you a saucer, packer, or lister?" And I think I'm just more of a saucer.
Yeah.
Or say like a sorcerer, but no, I'm just a saucer.
Yeah, I think I'm a saucer as well. I've got a huge death pile of stuff.
Oh, Sean, don't do it, Derek. You're young. Being Sophie's plaything, a reservoir for depraved antics, is not the way forward. Waking up with bunny ears and half a tub of lard on your chest is not the answer. I would never do that to you, Derek, ever. Hello, Kathy. We've also got Babs at the Attic and Vintage Collectibles. Hello. Doing accounts. Ugh.
Accounts.
Very nice.
That's quite efficient, though, isn't it? Doing accounts in end of April.
Very efficient. I think Sean would like Richard to say hello to him. Please can Richard say hello to Sean? Question for Derek. A few people have recently gone full-time, Tam, File Coast, Jammy Dodger. Do you have any advice for them? Have you ever regretted going full-time?
Not sure on the advice. Just stick with it. Make sure you've got plenty of reserve cash, I suppose, for the slow time, so you can ride it out. I don't think I've ever regretted it. I do get the odd message occasionally, like headhunter people who offer me like quite good positions, and I just turn them down without really giving it much thought, because I don't want to look into it too much, because I'm quite happy. I think the longer you away from the job, you start to miss certain things of it, but you forget why you wanted to go full time in the first place.
Yeah.
Or at least for me, because I really like my job as well. It was sort of my dream job. I've always wanted to do it. And when I left Rockstar and went to the other company, that was like almost my perfect job because I was leading the team and stuff like that. But yeah, you got to sort of remember why you did it. So
Yeah.
I don't really have any regrets now. Probably my main regret would be probably not doing it sooner, really.
Yeah.
I probably should have, I don't know. You got to do what you do at the time, I suppose. It's easier to,
Yeah.
I was quite unhappy at Rockstar for a few years. And I basically wanted, a bit more responsibility and stuff like that. And it got to the point where I wanted to find something else to do.
Yeah.
But at that point, I wasn't even doing reselling properly part time. It was still very much a hobby type thing.
Yeah.
I think Richard was reselling, quite seriously part time at that point. So I think he went full time a year before I did. Yeah, but yeah, the advice would be basically have money set aside so you can ride out the slow times because there will be slow times. And
Yeah.
you don't want to be stressing that you can't pay the mortgage or anything like that. So that would be my main advice, I think.
Yeah. That's like my big thing at the moment. Like, I still want to go full time, but not until I've got like a certain amount of money like up behind me. So then, like you
Yeah,
say, ride out the slow times because I'm
yeah,
having a lot of them right now. And you kind of think like, if this was when I was full time, I wouldn't even be able to get a food shop right now. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah. Have you always kind of picked up the same sort of stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I, 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 I buy different things based on the different contacts I've got. I've got a few like regular buyers,
Yeah.
um, and and I used to go to the auctions. I used to pick up. I suppose it was the same sort of stuff. Um, I buy so much of a mix of things. I can buy CRT TVs, VCRs, vintage hi-fis, but I can also buy an old kettle and a saucepan and things like that, and a vintage tray or something like that for Etsy. So yeah, it all depends on who's at the boot sale, really.
Yeah.
One of my regular contacts. So a lot of my um, stock comes from my regular people. I mean, if they weren't there, then I'll probably pick up a lot less from like the random stalls.
Yeah.
Certainly at a certain boot sale I go to. Sometimes I go to a certain boot sale, and if my guy isn't there, they'll literally come home with pretty much nothing. Get one or two
Yeah.
things. But I'm always at the back of my mind. I'm always knowing that I've got this death pile, so I am always quite picky. Um,
Yeah.
well, I've been saying that for well over a year, and I just can't get round to dealing with it because I just pick up too much, really.
Yeah. Do you find like you kind of like overwhelm yourself a little bit and then you kind of
Yeah,
can't get on top of it?
a little bit. I think the problem I got is, which I'm hoping the barn was going to solve, is that I've got this room at the moment where I put everything, but
Yeah.
once at the back of the room, and it sort of I've piled stuff up, and I can only gain access to the front of the room, and then I start to chip away at that a little bit once I've listed the latest car boot sale items, and then the next car boot sale comes along, and I've got to put it somewhere, so I end up putting it back in that place. So the stuff at the back I just never get round to it.
Yeah.
Even through COVID, I didn't clear it completely. I cleared a lot of it,
Yeah.
but there was no boot sales for so long, and I was just sourcing for my death pile, and I still didn't clear it. It just makes you wonder: is it really worth keeping it? But it is
Yeah.
generally quite good stuff. But I'm hoping that when I've got the barn, I want to try and have like a more of an easier way to get access to stuff, because a lot of the time I do batch photography.
Yeah.
So if I'm taking if I'm sort of dealing with video recorders, for example, I'd rather test 10 video recorders and take 10 photos of all the video recorders. But if video recorders are at the back of the room and I can't get to them, then they still don't get done.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I'm in the barn, I've got all that space, and I've got a shelf. I can gain access to both sides of the shelf and stuff like that. I'll be able to gain access to all the stuff that is similar to the stuff I want to do the batch photography for. So I'm hoping that will fix that issue.
Yeah.
Or at least going in the right direction.
Yeah. Oh, Dennis has clarified, £30 a day, not 30 to 60 sales a day. So I didn't know, Belle, that Tam had gone full time. So congratulations, Tam. I'm obviously a little bit behind. I haven't been watching much YouTube lately just because I've been working. And I've also got Pokemon Violet for my Switch, which has taken up a lot of my time. So that's the other reason why. I'm just coming down the chat again a little bit here. Hope the dog is okay, guys. Just spotted a little bit of chat about a dog. Still just coming down, making my way to the bottom, guys. Sean. Okay, Rich, as long as I've not upset you, the rest I can deal with. I will let you hug Paul then. Then if you are still healthy after a week, I will try it also. Okay. I'm not sure I really want to know what they're going to try, to be honest. George just had a sale. Well done.
Hey.
What did you have a sale with, George? Let us know. I heard Derek's brother Richard served in the army and advanced to the rank of major. He retired as Major Payne.
I think we're both a major pain sometimes.
If Sophie wants to cut down on the echoes, she could broadcast in a room that did not look like she had been robbed. If she PMs me her address, I will send her some art. It's like a prison cell in there. I've got one little thing up here. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to stand up now, aren't I? See, like, I've got a little monkey with headphones. And then the rest is all my shit.
I'm not moving the camera here. There's too much rubbish about.
No, I don't have an awful lot on the walls, but I have to admit, a lot of that is because I'm only 5 foot and I can't get it up as high as I want to anyway. So I've just left it, I think, really. I can't put stuff up on walls. Lisa, I'm fed up of my job now. Used to love it. Hope you can go full time one day. What's your job, Lisa? What do you do? Yeah, hopefully you can go full time one day. Just keep plugging away. That's kind of all I'm doing, really. How are you balancing reselling, barn work, and getting YouTube videos out, Derek?
Well, basically, how I'm doing the reselling at the moment, I'm getting up early. I am listing 10 things if I can. It's not always managed to do it, but 10 things before 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm getting up sort of 6:30, that sort of time. And I've already took the photos, so it's just literally listing it. And then that allows me all day. I can basically go out to the barn and work and not really worry about it. And then do the packing in the evening or during the next day. And I'm trying to can only really work on the barn when it's dry. So on the rainy days, I'm constantly looking at the weather app to see and planning what day I can do a load of eBay work versus the barn. So that's sort of how I've been doing that. And the YouTube videos, basically just editing them as and when I got the time, which is meaning I'm a bit behind. Because it's quite I'm thinking about getting a GoPro because I haven't got a GoPro. It's all recorded on my phone.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a lot easier if I could just set the GoPro going, especially with things like the brickwork. I could even put like a thing on
Yeah.
my head and you basically just record it and then speed it up or whatever. You know, at the moment I sort of have to stop everything to get the phone out,
Yeah.
do a little video on it. So yeah, I might get a GoPro, and yeah, that might help with the videos. I think because I've got
Yeah.
so much to do, and I think it's worth it.
I've got
But
a
yeah,
chest strap for my iPhone, but I only wear it like indoors if I'm like filming, just doing a bit of picking and packing because I
yeah,
kind of feel like too much of a lemon wearing it outdoors.
yeah. Well, I basically had the same thing, and I went to a car boot sale, and it was there, and yeah, felt a bit, you know, felt a bit strange walking around and things
Yeah,
like
and
that.
I kind of feel a little bit just like my phone's a little bit too on show as well if I'm walking about. I don't know,
Yeah,
if someone tries to grab it off me, like I don't
yeah,
know if they were, but yeah, I just feel like it's a little bit too on show.
yeah. But I wouldn't record with the GoPro at the boot sales or anything
Yeah.
around here. But they seem to be people in Scotland just don't like recording. I've found I've had lots
Oh,
of problems.
really?
Yeah, I've had lots of problems. So it's just not really worth the the hassle for me really.
I've
Um,
never had any problems here. I mean, I have to admit, I haven't actually been to the boot sale here in Cheltenham yet because the first 2 weeks it was rained off for anyway. So
right,
I think last week was actually like the first kind of fully functioning week. But
yeah,
I was at work. I'm at work again this weekend, so I may be able to get to one possibly the following weekend. But I am kind of trying to get rid of a lot of my old stock at the moment. That I've been going through all my boxes and just adding on more photos, even if they've got 10 photos already, just adding more and more on.
yeah.
And
Well,
I've
I've
had,
thought about doing that as well.
yeah, I've had a couple of sales from things that have been in them boxes.
Yeah,
Um, so I think it does help, but I haven't had, I haven't seen like a massive boost in sales, but I have got rid of two things that I've had for a long time.
well, up until recently, I think it was only 12 photos, wasn't it? So
Yeah,
I've got quite a lot of things that they've been on sale for quite a long time, and I think
yeah,
they're pretty good items personally. But no, I had no interest. But I've only got 12 photos on there.
yeah,
So, or even worse, I've needed to take more, but I've used one of the collage things so that you've got four
yeah,
photos in the one. But now I'll be able to just fill out. I think it's 24 photos now, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Um, and even a videos. But then you've got to spend time on items that haven't sold. So
yeah,
and I've got so much stuff that I could be doing. I could be listing new stuff. So I tend
yeah,
not to do it, but there's quite a lot of items I'd like to increase the photos,
yeah.
include them.
I mean, the main reason I'm doing it is because I'm stuck for space now in the flat. Like, even if I wanted to go sourcing, I've got nowhere to put it now. Really, like I'm
Yeah,
totally like stuffed
yeah,
up. So
yeah,
I just need to. I just want to focus on getting like loads of older items
mm,
sold
yeah. I'm sold. Yeah,
instead of just like sat here before I get more and more stuff. Really, but I am missing shopping.
yeah, yeah. I don't think I could not go to the car boot sale, even if I.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I don't really need to source. I've got so much in the death pile, but
yeah,
yeah, I get FOMO if I don't go. So
yeah,
I need a good reason not to go. Say if we we've gone away for the weekend or something like that, then that's fair enough.
yeah.
But yeah, if it's dry and the boot sale's open, I can't just stay in bed, and I just feel really bad for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I've got plenty of stuff.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like everything that I've got is listed, so it's not like I've even got loads of stuff that isn't listed. Like it's all
right,
listed. It's just
right,
getting it all sold.
yeah,
That's kind of
so
what I
yeah,
want to focus on.
yeah,
How I deal with death pile is I'll source items, then I'll take one or two items out of the death pile. into the listing pile.
Yeah, I do try to do that as well, and I did have a thing that I was doing for a few months that I tried to clear one small shelf of
Yeah,
stuff. I thought, right, I'm going to go through that shelf. Whatever's on there, I'm either going to discard it or I'm going to list it. But
yeah,
whatever happens at the end of the day, that shelf's going to be cleared. And that
yeah,
worked for about a couple of weeks. And then, it just gets out of hand again.
yeah,
I'm quite cramped for space, really, for bringing stuff in after the boot sales. So um, I find it very difficult. So I end up clearing a bit of space, and then I just put the new stuff back in that space,
yeah,
and then it all gets mingled with the death pile again. And
yeah,
some stuff ends up getting stuck in there and never gets listed.
yeah,
Um, I just need a better system. But when I do move into the barn, I'm going to have a stock take as well. So,
yeah,
because I'm sure there's a lot that isn't, I think that's listed but isn't listed,
yeah,
and I want to really think about how I lay out the death pile type
yeah,
area so I can access it, like I said before, so things don't get stuck at the back.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I have to admit, like, I'm quite glad that I've started doing things like stock taking now while I've still only got 300 items
yeah,
because,
yeah,
like, it helps keep on top of it. Because in January, that was when I started the SKU system. So I've got all my boxes like A, B, C, D, E, and everything else on.
yeah,
And then now that I'm going through all the boxes and just sticking new photos on everything, like, it's enabling me to actually kind of stock take at the same time as well, really.
yeah.
Rather than waiting till I've got like 1,000 items and being like, I don't even know what's here, what's there. Is it
Yeah.
even still listed?
That's why I'm going to take the opportunity when I do move into the barn, is to really go through everything, and also spend quite a lot of time organising how I'm going to do it. Because once you've organised it and done whatever space you're making, it's
Yeah,
very hard to change it at that point, isn't it? So
yeah,
I'm really going to give it a lot of thought. I'll probably sort of ask for advice on YouTube as well. How would other people lay it out?
yeah,
Almost do like a floor plan and say,
yeah.
this is that's what I'd like to do. What
And
do
you kind
people
of want it
think?
to work like efficiently for you as well, don't you? Like,
Yeah,
so I don't know, you've got like a little station for like packing and bits like that, and
yeah,
just and make it nice and easy so you can just pick stuff out. Like, you need it to kind of be as a working for you really as well, don't you?
I want a big packing area and I want a big photography area.
Yeah,
Definitely, because I really struggle for space in here, and I want to get rid of these big um, light setups and have
yeah,
the smaller ones. I've got a couple of little LED things. I think you can just see it on the roof there, but I want to sort of have a proper area that that is just for photography as well, because this ends up with I clean stuff on there, and
yeah,
then the sheet gets a bit dirty, and I've got to clean it, and
yeah,
so I'm going to really sort of plan it out. Really like to plan it.
yeah. Pete says, I like going to car boots as I get to meet other people, plus you get to know your competition, and it goes to get stock. Yeah, I really do need to like get to the car boot. It's just one of those things at the moment. But when I'm there, you're going to know that I'm there. So watch out, Cheltenham, because I will be there. So, do you sell on like other platforms as well?
Yeah, I sell on it's mainly eBay, but I also sell quite heavily on Etsy as well. That's becoming almost, well, I wouldn't say identical to eBay, but
Yeah,
a really good sort of second to eBay. Um, and I do Facebook Marketplace, but I list everything on Facebook Marketplace at the eBay price. So it
yeah,
is basically a bit of a rip-off price. I get a lot of like messages saying, "Are you serious?" But I do get the odd, sale on there, and
yeah,
I don't put a lot of effort into that. I literally just cut and paste it, chuck the photos on, set the
yeah,
price. I do get the odd sale, and it makes it worth it. But Etsy, I do really well on there, really. And that's sort of a safety net for me as well.
Yeah.
If eBay goes down for whatever, we've all heard, like Closet Geeks had problems.
Yeah.
You can be cut off at any point. It's good to know that Etsy's still there, and that would tide me over. That would pay all
Yeah.
the bills and stuff like that. I mean, if I didn't have eBay at all, Etsy would basically cover my bills. But there wouldn't really be any extra money as such.
Yeah.
It'll tide the water when I fix whatever the problem is with eBay.
Yeah.
Or find a different platform, whatever I'd have to do.
Yeah.
I've signed up for Whatnot, but I still
Yeah.
haven't had the approval.
Yeah, see, I haven't either. Like, I signed up months ago, and it still kept telling me like, well, it kept telling me to sign up still, and I was like, well, I have. So I clicked on it again, and it kept saying like, all done. Just wait for your approval.
Yeah, mine says all done.
Yeah, nothing.
I sent them the photos of the stock and all that sort of stuff that they wanted. I think you had to send your passport photo or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So I've done all of that, but yeah, nothing yet. But I don't really know how the stuff that I sell would really work on there. I think it might do eventually, but I don't think it would work at the moment.
Yeah,
but
but
maybe
I know, even
future.
Chris, he had to. I think he said he messaged them on Instagram in the end because he didn't like nothing happened for him either to start with.
Right.
So I think he had to message him on Instagram in the end.
Right. Okay.
So it might be like trying that perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't be doing anything until I'm in the barn anyway with that.
Yeah.
Mainly because I'm not really geared up for like having a live sale in me. It's all a bit so, but in the barn I'll be able to have like a little area that I'll be able to do that, and that's when I will look into that. But I don't know if that's just too many platforms really.
Yeah, I think there is such a thing as like too many platforms, to be honest, because like I'm on Poshmark at the moment, and although it's not open to the public yet, I've been kind of building my wardrobe and stuff, and building up followers and things like that. So then when it is open, hopefully people will be like, oh, I'll buy from this person because she's got like 2,000 followers on there, or whatever. But yeah, I was kind of trying to get on Whatnot at the same time, and I sort of thought actually like, although Whatnot would be good for me to get rid of possibly like some of my old stock, that I feel a little bit like overwhelmed with the amount of platforms I am on, because I've got eBay, Vinted, Depop, now Poshmark, and then if I add Whatnot into that as well,
it's a lot.
It's like 5 platforms essentially, and it's a lot to keep up with, because like once you sell something on one, if you've got to delete off the other. Was that a sale for you then?
Yeah, that was a sale.
Is that the one that's paid?
I've sold they paid earlier. So I've had there's a Pioneer boombox, £140, and then a vintage Gilbert and Sullivan vocal piano score, £10.94.
That's all right.
Which as a bit of a story, I had 2 of those, and one of them sold the other day for like £5. I'd had it on sale for so long, and I think the cover was missing. Anyway, I went to pack it and realised it had been signed by Gilbert and Sullivan.
Oh, really?
And the signed ones, I think the signed ones go for about £30. I didn't even notice, but they got a bargain anyway. Assuming they even know, you can see it in the photo.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was signed or anything, so I didn't notice. I thought, hang on, that's been signed, But I'd already paid, and I was packing it up, so but never mind. That's the other one. Which, well, possibly maybe that one's signed as well. I don't know, but I'm happy just to get rid of all this stuff,
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes I do let things go for like quite cheap. So I'm like, well, I've had it for a little while now. I don't want it. It's just sat here. Like, get rid of it, move on.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, I say if I look for that and saw it was signed and they hadn't bought it at that point,
Yeah.
If I put it up to £30, it won't be sitting there for another year. I'd rather sell it for a tenner and get rid of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not the stuff I generally sell. I think I've only got it because I bought a electronic keyboard, like a
Yeah.
Casio or something, and came with like a stack of books. So I just put the books on separately. I done okay on them, but it's not the sort of stuff I like to sell, really.
Yeah. Yeah. My friend, actually, she got in touch with me the other night saying that she was like, "Oh, I've got loads of stuff for you, like, the kids' Nintendos." And I was like, "Oh, have you?" And she was just like, "Yeah." So I'm hoping she's meant to be digging that out for me tomorrow. So I'm hoping I'll get
Yeah.
those like old Nintendo stuff. She was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
but it's all really old." And I was like, "That's all right. I'll take it. It's fine."
Usually the older the better.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how old like she thinks it is. I'm not sure whether it's going to be quite like
Probably
N64 SNES age, but
yeah.
like I'll take it either way. But
Depends on the age of their kids, I suppose. You could
yeah,
gauge it from that.
yeah. But I was like, "Yeah, don't worry. I'll just take it off you."
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
you can't beat that.
No, definitely not. Right, we're just coming up for the hour now, so I usually keep these down to about an hour. So we'll start heading off. So thanks so much for joining, Derek.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you for having me on.
no, thank you. And you've got your YouTube channel as well, TatPeddler. So please subscribe to Derek if you're not already subscribed to him. And you've got an Instagram as well, haven't you? Just TatPeddler.
Yeah, TatPeddler as well. I don't really post on Instagram that much, but I probably should do it more often. I always forget.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. Guest to be confirmed for next Wednesday, and we will catch you all very soon. Thanks so much for joining.
Bye, everybody.